Finishing off the old versus news of the Legacy Insecticons, we have Bombshell. Bombshell is my personal favorite Insecticon, mostly because he's got that really cool mouth plate, and also he's like a stag beetle. Yeah, he's just always been my favorite, and I'm very happy that the Bombshell Legacy figure came out, and it's really good. And personally, like I've said in these other old versus news, I'm not going to get rid of my old Legends class Insecticons. Why would I? The whole point of the Insecticons is that there's tons of them. So I'm just going to have my little ones in the insect modes and the big ones in the robot modes. And the insect ones are going to be like the drones. You know, it works out great for me. So this old versus new isn't really a battle of like which one am I going to keep or not. It's pretty much like, oh, let's look at the old small one back when they did these small guys in the small size. And here's the big one when they do these guys in deluxe class now. That's pretty much what it is. Kind of like Brawn, you know, except I'm probably not going to keep my old Brawn. This, though, I'm going to keep the old Bombshell, because this one's really, really cool. I like both of these. I don't know, something about it. It's Bombshell. Again, favorite Insecticon. And I think they did a good job with both of these. So the little one right here, this Legends class, this is back when they were called Legends, was sold in the Combiner Wars line. So he has a weird gimmick that was exclusive just to the Combiner Wars line. I'm going to try my best to kind of show it off. But it's pretty neat. It's kind of funny how many different lines it took for these Insecticons in the Legends class to happen. Because, what was it? Shrapnel was in Thrilling 30, right? And then this one was in Combiner Wars, and wasn't Kickback in, like, Titan's Return or something? It took a while to get them. Meanwhile, Legacy, it's just like, oh, year and a half, here's all the Insecticons. I think it was about a year and a half, right? I think it was about a year and a half for Legacy. I think so. I don't know. I might be giving it a little too much time. But yeah, this is really, really cool. I really do like this. It's got these cool hand cannons, so Bombshell can shoot you, I guess. I don't know. It's, again, to facilitate a weird gimmick that Combiner Wars Legends had. I love his head sculpt, though. You can't turn it. It's pretty much stuck in there. But it's a cool-looking head. I love the knightly-looking mouth plate. The piercing red eyes poking out. Really nice Decepticon symbol. It's just a nice-looking Legends class. It's got some nice paint on him. The arms have no paint whatsoever, but, I mean, it's an Insecticon, no big deal. He still has the insect arms on the shoulders, as he should, and I do appreciate how the insect legs fold up pretty nicely along the back there. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Overall, it is pretty basic. You know, it's got ball joint, swivel, ball joint. It's pretty much it. It's an old Legends class. What do you expect? I do wish he could turn his head, but looking at this, the size of this figure, I understand. It wasn't needed. It really wasn't. Especially for me, since after this video, this figure is pretty much going to live in insect mode for the rest of its life. It's not that big of a deal to me. So yeah, pretty nice little Bombshell here. Pretty cool. This one, though, this Deluxe, I am digging this guy. I am digging this. So it's a Deluxe Insecticon in the year 2023. So it's got tons of nice solid joints. Tons of nice universal joints. Swivel right there. Nice knee, right as I bend to the elbow. Nice elbow pin. The legs are actually identical to Shrapnel. Like, exactly. Those are Shrapnel's legs. And I think the reuse is actually pretty good here. I think it makes sense. Doesn't really make any difference for this figure or that figure. It works well. One thing, though, you can turn his head. You can turn this one's head. And it is such a cool looking head, too. If you pull this back more, you can get a better look at it. Unfortunately, it only has silver paint for the mouth plate. The rest is pretty much just that dull gray plastic. But it still looks good. Still has those cool red eyes. But we kind of want it down like this, so we can kind of get that little gold crest up there. Then the weird, like, stag beetle thing can be on the top. You can cover his face if you want to, but there is actually a problem with that I do need to address, unfortunately. I'll get to that when I get to transformation. But overall, this one's articulation is super solid. It just feels super great. It's a modern Deluxe. You know, this is high quality stuff we're dealing with. You know, the prices went up, but so did the quality. Like, compare this to a Deluxe we would get like 10 years ago, and there is quite the quality difference. They've really upped their game, and I love the silver paint underneath the translucent plastic. I love that effect, and I think they did such a great job of capturing it here. It's just so nice. I really do like this Bombshell. It's really great. And with that being said, I typically don't do this for old versus news, but I have to. Here's the team. Here is the complete Insecticon team. Bombshell in the middle, because he's my favorite. Yes, this is so nice. Kickback's an awesome figure. Shrapnel's an amazing figure. Bombshell's amazing. These are just really nice. If you like the Insecticons, thankfully we are still in a position where all three of these are obtainable. Kickback was in Legacy Wave 1, but usually Wave 1 of any Transformers line is pretty easy to get still, and Kickback is no exception. You can still find him for retail price. Shrapnel, he came out a few months ago. He's a little harder to get, but you can still find him. You can still see him for about retail. And Bombshell just came out. These guys do sell out typically. When they first come out, they usually sell out, but give it some time. They'll come back in stock. This is an amazing team, and I'm so happy that Hasbro was able to give us all three Insecticons within a pretty nice, timely manner. Now we just need Studio Series Swoop, so we can complete another team that we have been desperately waiting for. But fingers crossed, they're going to release that soon. We already know it's coming. It's just a matter of when. Alright, so let's get to transforming. Let us see how the Combiner Wars one transforms. So to get him into his alternate mode, flip that, and we'll do a little flip-me-do over here. And then we'll rotate the legs, get the insect legs out, get this all folded up. It's pretty simple, you know, it's a bug. Or is it? What have I done? This isn't a bug. This is a bug gun. Yes. This is the gimmick of Combiner Wars. All of the Legends classes are essentially like target masters. You can like try to plug the arms in together, but I typically just leave them out as like gun barrels because that's kind of the point of the hands being barrels like that. These pegs can be used for figures to hold it. And for funsies, we got to see it. Here's Bombshell wielding Bombshell. That is so funny. That is so funny. I'm not exactly sure how this one's like Target Master mode is supposed to look. And also, I don't care. I looked, for once, I actually did do some research. Believe it or not. I did some research, and I could not really find any proper images of this in the Target Master, whatever you want to call it, mode. But to actually get it in the insect mode, we're just going to put the arms underneath, and then they've got these weird little slots, so this kind of key into each other right there. Pretty easy, no problemo. I heard no problemo is not grammatically accurate, but I know it from Terminator, so that's why I say it. I had an actual like Spanish-speaking person. I said no problemo, and they were like, "Actually, it's no problema," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." No offense, but it was like, you know, this isn't as much of a deal as you're making it out to be. Anyways, insect mode, stack beetle mode, whatever beetle you want to call it. Really cute, really fun. I think this is where this figure shines, because this beetle looks really good. You know, it's got the proper kind of like head and abdomen, thorax. It's got the insecty looks, and I think it has a good job of it. I've always guessed that those are like the big eyes on the side, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a bug expert. I don't remember the technical term, nor do I care. It's late at night. Anyways, let's transform this one. So one thing, it does have an Evo fusion gimmick. His arm cannons can be removed and used as separate weapons, and you can attach these to his hand cannon to make a bigger hand cannon. So we can do that. Figured I'd show that since someone's going to be like, "You didn't show the Evo fusion." Yeah, you can do that. These are technically supposed to remain on the arms because those end up forming like additional like insect legs, which is kind of cool if you really think about it. You know, Bombshell has these arm-mounted cannons, and this figure interpreted them as just making his arms cannons. So that's pretty fun. So let's get the blaster out, get the hands folded in. This is the problem with this figure. So right up here, that is a tab that is painted silver that they want you to stuff into this slot right in front of the face. Don't do it. It will scratch that silver paint. And when you have this guy lifted up, you're going to have a big scratch right there. I did it once, and I'm like, nope. And I just took a silver Sharpie and just fixed the little scuff it made before it got worse. It's very unfortunate that they didn't really have the foresight to, you know, make that work. I wouldn't have minded if they left that tab unpainted and made it, you know, just left it unpainted, period. But it is what it is. Just don't tab that in if you want your figure still looking nice. Very tragic, I have to say that, because typically Transformers do not have that kind of problem, but unfortunately this guy does. So the legs, again, they are identical to his bro. So we're going to rotate them, do a little flip-me-do of these little panels here, and then these pieces. We do want the feet flipped out like that. These pieces are going to move up and just kind of comfortably slot in, you know, nice and cool, nice and cool. Get that in right there. And then similar to the little one, we're going to put the arms underneath. But this time the arms have several spaces they tab into. They tab into the thigh, and they're supposed to tab into that side panel. I say if you can get it into the thigh, then mission accomplished. Because the side panel, it's kind of a little tricky to get that in there. So that one actually had a pretty good job at it. See, I would say like tab it into the thigh down there, and then try to squish the, there we go. We kind of got there. Yeah, there we go. That's my method. Tab it into the thigh and then squish it in with the side panel. Should be good to go. Should be all set. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Looking nice, looking nice. Then we just tab the gun up top or something. And yeah, there we go. Here is the Legacy Deluxe Bombshell in his insect mode. And this one's definitely a lot blockier. The head is a little bit more exposed. And unfortunately, you can't really fully tab that in without breaking it. But thankfully, it is kind of on like soft ratchets, so it does stay up. But keep that in mind if you don't want paint scuffs. You know, keep that in mind. We do get a little bit more paint kind of exposed here. We get some black and silver stripes, some cool little techie details up top. Yeah, this is really cute. I really like it. I do honestly, I've pretty much said this with every other one. The G1 Insecticons, their insect modes are kind of like semi-vehicle, semi-insect modes. But I feel like the little Legends class ones they did for Generations look... Oh my gosh! Oh! So for context, I keep my Black Series clones above my desk. And I just did a review of the Black Series Apo, and I did a comparison with this guy. I guess they came tumbling down. That gave me a heart attack. Okay. Let's just get those out of the way. And with that near-death experience out of the way, here we go. Here is the little Legends class Insecticon Bombshell compared to the new Deluxe. Like I was saying, I feel like the smaller ones lend themselves to having a better bug mode, because they've got like the proper insect legs and everything, so that's how they'll exist. They're going to be the little bug drones, and this is going to be the proper like character in robot mode. I think it's really cool. It's a cute way to kind of have some Insecticon representation while not having a lot of repetition in your collection. I personally recommend them both. If it's something where you are kind of similar to me and you want some Insecticon drones and the character, get the little Legends and then get the new Deluxe. But if you just want one, just get the Deluxe. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little rattled. Those figures, they fell hard and right in front of me. Oh my gosh. All right. I got to leave that in though. That was too funny. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think about these guys down in the comments below. Which one are you picking up? If you only get one, get the new one, obviously. But again, I think the old one's still pretty cute. I think they both have a purpose in a Transformers collection. One thing though. Can we move this tab down and like tab them up top? There's not enough space. I was hoping I could be funny. Unfortunately, I cannot. Well, maybe a little funny. Maybe we can be a little funny. Maybe. Can we be a little funny? Yeah, we can be a little funny. There we go. A little funny. Just being a little funny, a little goofy. Thanks so much, guys. Special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.